Alright guys, this is the third part 3, and we just have like 4 questions left, so I think we're going to make it in 3 videos.
We're going to beat that 5-part deal we were talking for.
Awesome. Okay, so number 16, how do you feel about me having plastic surgery?
That's up to you.
How do you feel about my saggy skin?
That doesn't bother me.
I think it bothers me more than it does him.
It does.
And I'll talk about it, and I try not to talk about it a whole lot, because I think that, you know, all the things you read or articles you hear that men don't want to hear you complain about your body. So I try to be really mindful of that, and I just try to make fun of it. And it does bother me. And I will say, even though I've always had a pretty high confidence level, my saggy skin really bothers me. And it bothers me. So I try. I know he doesn't care. And you don't make it a point to make
And I don't think
like
anybody else pays attention to it either, because I remember the doctor, when we went for your 1 year, 2 weeks ago, he was asking about saggy skin because you don't look like you have any.
Oh.
I know you can conceal that to a point, but, I mean, I don't think anybody thinks about that besides you.
Well, and maybe.
And, I mean, I completely get it from your point of view, too, but it doesn't bother me at all. And if you decide you want to do that, that's great. I'm all for it. I'll help you do that too. But if you don't, that's fine too.
And that wouldn't be anything that I would have now, anyways. It would be after we had kids, because I don't feel like that would. I mean, it's not gonna do any good. And so, I don't know. Okay, number 17. How have you handled watching my body change so quickly?
Well, it's funny because we've talked about that too. All the weight you lost. When you people that see her that haven't seen her in a while are like, "Wow, that's amazing." But I sat here and watched all of it, and she would be losing just vast amounts of weight, in a week's time, and you could tell a difference. And then one night, it'd just be, like one night you'd be sitting on the couch and I'd look at you and go, "Man, she looks a lot different." It just hit you all at once.
Yeah, like nothing would be happening. I'd just be like in some saggy pajamas, and he'd say, "Dang, you're so small." Or every now and then he'd grab me and talk about how tiny I am. It's
just, it's different when you're there all the time. I mean, versus just seeing somebody every now and then. Even though it's changed quickly, when you see somebody every day, it doesn't feel as quick.
Yeah,
I guess.
I can see that.
But then you have those moments that you're like, "Wow, that's amazing."
And I've wondered before. Of course, I know kids are really different, but I'm really close to my best friend's 2 kids, and sometimes I think, because like Cash, randomly, like twice, has made some comment about my weight, and like that he knows that I'm different. Of course, he knew that I was really big before, and we talked about that. And we would talk about how that it's fine for him to say that I was fat or that I was big, because I was. And he didn't call me names. He's just not a kid that does that. But that we shouldn't say that to other people, because it would be very hurtful. And for one, he doesn't really say that anymore, but he has made comments about how much weight I've lost. Like he said something, he's wanting to know what my weight is. And then he'll say that I'm smaller than his dad or something, something to that effect, because he tries to think about somebody else that he knows is bigger, and he's 7. But I just wonder, in the eyes of a child, how different I look. I've just wondered that.
I can't speak to that.
I know. And like Cora, my best friend's niece, every time she sees me, she's got to run up to me and measure me with her hands. And she can overlap her fingers now, and she just thinks that's the coolest thing ever. So that's cute. But anyways, okay. 18. What do you think about my shopping and how much money I'm spending on new clothes and things?
I don't think you've really gone way overboard at all. I mean, you've done a lot of Goodwill shopping. I don't. To me, you hadn't bought a lot of new stuff yet, because you're not where you're wanting to be, and I think you've done a fine job with that.
And I have to admit, and I've not admitted this yet, but there have been a few things I bought that I thought, I'm going to save that because that's going to be adorable when I'm pregnant. I've thought that. Yeah, I've thought that. Confessions. Okay, here's the last one, and this is kind of a doozy. So, what is your best advice for another spouse who's spouse is going to have weight loss surgery, maybe a do and don't list? Or just your best advice?
Well, definitely, if your spouse is wanting to do this, you need to be involved with them. You know, I know we talked about going to those the seminars together, and I really learned a lot at those that I didn't know, because, you know, if you're not going to do something yourself, you're not going to put in the research like she did to investigate it. But, you know, after those 2 seminars, I started doing a lot of looking as far as, you know, I did more as far as the surgery itself, but, you know.
Yeah, you watched videos of the surgery.
Yeah, I was watching videos of them performing the surgery and what they did, and you know, I feel like you need to be there to support them for sure, because, you know, she needed a lot of help when she came home from the hospital. And, you know, I tried to, you know, of course we live close to our family, so it wasn't like I was by myself by any means. But, you know, they're going to need a lot of help, and you need to be prepared for that. And you know, I did a lot of research as far as, I was really, I guess, trying to figure out what all she was going to be able to eat when she came home. I made a spreadsheet out, you know, to carry back when we went to the doctor about when, you know, I mean, I tracked everything she did for the first week. You know, when she went to the bathroom, how much she drank, when she drank it, you know, what she ate, when she ate it, how much it was, pops, anything, you know, and I think that helped as far as you didn't have to, there wasn't any guessing about whether she had gotten her water in or not, because we could look at the sheet and, you know, really tell what she'd done.
And in the beginning, my mind was not, I was not, so that was super helpful.
She was, you know, she was concentrating on, I'm hurting, I don't want to concentrate on anything else, but I'm hurting, you know. But, you know, we'd walk around the house, and, you know, it was just one of those things that, if you're married to somebody that's going to do this, it's a group decision. It's not something that she's going to do by herself. Because I don't feel like you'll be very successful at it if you don't have some help. Yeah,
I agree with that. Well, and I think that we, and that would probably be, I mean, I got super lucky because Ed's so supportive, but I definitely think if your spouse is looking into having weight loss surgery, that I think the best thing you can do is listen, and if you've got concerns or worries or you don't agree with it, I think you should express that. Does that mean I think that you need to be the end all that says, no, she can't do that? No. But I think that she needs to know ahead of time what your worries are and your concerns are. And I think you need to hear her out. And I think that you need to kind of do what Ed did, which is kind of research it on your own. And try to be as helpful as possible. Because it is scary and not fun. And I definitely could not have done it without Ed and my family and my friend. So I did say friend. My only friend. I mean, I've got other friends, but not really.
But it's definitely it's definitely a lifestyle change, and it's a great decision. You know, I'm like her. Of course, I would have never told her she couldn't do it if she didn't want to do it. But we did talk about several times, you know, the difference in the lap band and the ESG and you know, pros and cons, and, you know, that kind of thing. And, you know, I think knowing that kind of stuff up front really helps.
Yeah, I think so.
When you just got to communicate.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Ed would have ever told me no. He doesn't usually tell me no. So, all right, guys. Well, if you have other questions, these are just some of the questions that I had kind of stolen from other people. And I felt like they were pretty general questions and questions that everybody would want to know. But if you have other questions that you have or you want to know about, or questions that you want to ask Ed, you can message us or put them down below or whatever. Okay. That's it. We'll see you later. Bye.